we're still cool, ain't we? Yep.
And if they're asymptomatic, no, absolutely not. You start housing patients who look healthy at the Civic Center, you're gonna break quarantine. What?
Oh my God.
No, don't touch him.
The National Guard's holding position until the Army gets here. No, it's worse. Bartlett doesn't come close, Six. Can't even say if it's terrorism or something else. I've got no operational jurisdiction. Get them to let go a little. We're not the enemy here. If this isn't terrorism, they still need us. Send Thermite, Doc. And I need one of the Russians. I'll explain later. And Six, send them fast before this all burns down.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Adam Wolf from Gamers Platform, and in this video I will be going over my thoughts on Operation Outbreak in Rainbow Six Siege. It is brand new today, so if you wanted to give it a shot, if you have Rainbow Six Siege, it's out on all platforms today, March 6th, 2018, and it's the newest co-op mission, if you want to call it a mission, I guess, or set of missions that you can play for the next month. So, after that nice little intro, it got me excited. I'm really excited because it was a well-done intro. It sets up the game pretty well to give you an idea as to what exactly is happening, and it's, you know, pretty self-explanatory. Something from outer space came down, people got near it, and now they're all zombies, basically. But this isn't, honestly, this is a zombie mode, but it's a pretty well done zombie mode. Okay, it's definitely not your run-of-the-mill, they look exactly the same as like other zombies. This is actually a very creative twist on the zombies genre, because it's not just wave after wave of zombies to kill. You have objectives that you need to you know, finish in order to progress in this mini campaign, as it were. Rainbow Six Siege, as you know, did not come with a campaign. It was, you had some situations, okay, that were campaign-ish, and then you had multiplayer, and that was it. This is actually, I really like the effort that was put into this, because this game needs more co-op type stuff like this. You know, like Overwatch comes out with co-op missions in the arcade every once in a while when there's like a special event happening or whatever, which honestly they need like to just do a story for that game. But this game also, I think, deserves that kind of treatment as well, because it's so well put together. It's easily one of the most optimized games that I've ever played on my PC, in terms of, you know, being able to set a graphic setting and just have the game frickin' work. I mean, you know, first of all, from a text standpoint, from a gameplay standpoint, it's just smooth as butter. A lot of fun to play, no matter what frame rate you want to play it at. Yeah, this is just a great experience, and I really had a lot of fun playing it. I'm going to be going over the pros and cons. It's not a huge list, but I think it pretty much needs to be said from my viewpoint. But to lay it out for you guys, you get 9 choices of operator, including the new ones, Finca and Leon. And I'm going to say Leon because he's French, okay? And you look at the name, it says lion. You know, in English, you would pronounce that lion. But since he's French, you know, you think Leon, or I don't think Leon is French, but it could be. You know, usually that's spelled L-E-O-N. This one is spelled exactly as you would read it, lion. But I think because he's French, it's pronounced Leon. But that's just me, okay? So you get 9 operators. And I forgot to write them down. Ash, Capkin, Tachanka, Doc. Damn it. All right, and I've already lost. You know, you get the point. I mean, you get a decent number of operators. Now, would I have liked the entire roster? You know, choice is nice, but I think there was a reason that they picked most of these characters to choose from. Just Smoke is one of them, and Glaz. That might actually be all of them. Hey, look at that. I remembered. I think there's a reason that they kept it to a minimum of like 9, or a maximum of 9, excuse me, just because each of these operators has something to bring to the table when it comes to this zombie outbreak. So you have 3 operations, and I've only played 2 out of the 3, but they were both extremely fun. I think that with the with one of them that I played, which was basically go here and blow this up sort of situation. You had to find these points of interest and set explosives on them and then cover the explosives. That one was definitely a lot harder than the first one that I played, which was an escort mission. I usually don't like escort missions, but in this game, they're actually done pretty well because you're not having some character follow behind you. You have a person, you know, one of the players actually escorting by, you know, grabbing them by the hand and escorting them, also while being armed to make, you know, basically making sure that escortee cannot be attacked. You know, you are there to protect them. So the way that they did escort missions in this game, honestly, I'm okay with. This is definitely how it should be done. But nevertheless, that was, out of the 2 that I played, that one was my favorite. I know, it's strange. And then the second one was the one where we had to blow up points of interest, and it was hard. It was really hard. And I think that can be attributed to some of the issues that I have with the game, or with this game mode. So why don't we just jump right into it? So you've got 9 operators, 3 operations to choose from, or 3 operations to play. So we're going to start with the pros first. And the first thing that I got to say about this game that I really love is, strangely enough, I didn't think Rainbow Six Siege could look this good. Graphically, it is stunning. And I'm talking like what you're seeing on the screen right now is the game running at ultra settings. And I've never thought of this game as graphically appealing or one of the best looking games because it always kind of looked bright. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like a lot of bright colors and, you know, not a whole lot of nighttime maps, so to speak. You know, not a whole lot. Most of the time you're just playing during the day. But the atmosphere that they've set up here, the eeriness of it all, it sets in. You know, it's not like super scary. It's not like, you know, that kind of creepy, but it's a very eerie setting, you know, because it's at night. And you've got these things that are just walking around, talking to themselves, and then, you know, they attack you from all sides. And it's just a fantastically looking rendition of this game. And I think it's the best that it's ever looked, to be honest, if I'm going to be quite frank. This game, it's at its best when you're playing this mode. Overall, a fun co-op experience. I think that if you're going to play this game and you're not a big fan of the PvP like myself, and you were looking for something other than Terrorist Hunt, I think you should give this a try. The game's going to update whether you like it or not, so it's going to be included. But the bottom line is that it's a co-op experience that I think everybody should try at least once. And I know the whole zombie idea is kind of played out at this point, but it's weird how companies keep coming up with new ways to do it. This is in no way original. This whole idea of the zombie horde that you have to, take on. But the fact that they put objectives with it, also not a new idea, but it's a nice little twist. And the way the zombies look is also a nice change from the basic zombie look, if you know what I mean. Just like a skull walking around with arms and legs, basically. So I definitely highly recommend this if you are looking for a new co-op experience and you have Rainbow Six Siege. Give this a try. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. It's a lot of fun, and it's 3 people versus the zombie world, and that makes it even more tense because there's only 3 of you. So you have to make sure that your choices of operators are going to work together. I don't see you not using Doc in this one. Doc is like, he has to be an essential character to play as. I got away with not having him in my group in the first operation that I played, but the second one absolutely saved our asses in that operation. So I don't think it's impossible. It's going to be possible to really play this mode without Doc, but why not? I mean, he's very good. He's very good at this, dealing with the zombie situation. I think, and that goes in with my next point. There's a decent choice of operators. I mean, 9 doesn't seem like a lot, but again, I think it was specifically tailored to who they felt was necessary for this campaign, who they felt were the most effective operators for this new mode. And I only used Capkin in the 2 times that I played, only because he has a shotgun, and shotguns, as you know, are like the ultimate zombie killer. But even the shotgun that he has takes 2 shots if you shoot him in the body. Sometimes 2 shots if you shoot him in the head, depending on the difficulty level. I only played on normal, but there's two modes of difficulty. There's normal and then pandemic, where friendly fire is on and everything like that. Normal does not have friendly fire. But if I was going to choose other operators, I'd probably play with Tachanka because he's got the machine gun. And, I think that each operator has something to bring to the table. And so, 9 operators or not, they're all really good choices, depending on the overall team composition. And I think that's what makes it interesting, is because of the fact that you can only have 3. There's only 3 of you. And so you need to really look at your team layout and adjust according to that. What did the other 2 people that you're playing with choose? So then you just work yourself around that. The maps are well designed, very linear. Okay, it's not anything open world, obviously. I mean, it wouldn't make much sense, but it does bring in the destructive aspect of the game, where you can shoot through walls and stuff, make murder holes or whatever is what they call them. You can block off doors and set traps and everything. So all the aspects of Rainbow Six Siege are there. But these maps are so well designed for this particular game mode, and it's nice because it's refreshing, especially when you come from a game like Battlefield, where like half the time the map does not suit the game type that you're playing. These maps were specifically designed, obviously, for this campaign, and they are so well done. They not just in terms of like gameplay, but in terms of setting as well. It's really well done, and I really like it. Where it's, the direction that you have to go, but at the same time it gives you this claustrophobic feeling, where it's just like, there's not a lot of room here, so we need to really plan our attack accordingly. And it's just awesome, especially with the types of enemies that you have to deal with. It's intense. It gets real intense, but it's really well done. And my final pro point is that there's a story. There's an actual story to this. It's a very simplistic story. I basically described it in one sentence when I started this video, but it's a simplistic story, but it's a story nonetheless. That they not only created new maps for it, but they brought back all of the voice actors for these particular operators. to do lines. And so it's like, and they have that whole cutscene at the beginning that I showed you guys. So they went all out for this new campaign, this new co-op campaign. It's well voice acted, I think, personally, but it's really well done, and it gives you some sort of story to just this random situation. And I really enjoy it. I think that it's interesting how the characters interact with each other and everything, and how they've set all this up to be different with every single character. Well, at least the dialogue between them is different, obviously. I just thought that was really cool that they created that intro sequence, and they have a few other videos that you can look at as well. I didn't look at those, but they created this whole intro video to the co-op campaign, and then they throw you in there, and the characters interact with each other and give you an idea as to the severity of the situation, and of course talk to each other based on what you're supposed to do and stuff. I just really, really like it, which makes this all the more painful to go on to the cons, because I was really anticipating this co-op campaign for a while. Ever since I heard about it, I was like, that's going to be awesome. And then I heard this. It only lasts a month. I believe it only lasts till April 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? I'll put it up on the screen. It lasts a month. Why would you go to this absolute extent to create an intro cinematic and get all these voice actors to come back to do this awesome job with their characters, bring their characters to more life than just what they say in the multiplayer? Why would you put this whole story together and then just only let us have it for a month? I can see one aspect of as to the reason why, and that's because they wouldn't want it to become stale, which I can agree with, but that's why you continue to add on to it so it doesn't become stale. And it's just like, I don't understand this. I'm so tired of Terrorist Hunt. Terrorist Hunt is garbage compared to the previous entries in Rainbow Six, in the Rainbow Six series. Vegas 1 and 2 had better Terrorist Hunts than this game does. I'm not even joking. They absolutely... I played more Terrorist Hunt in the previous entries than this game ever. And I refuse to play the PvP because it's garbage. You just spray and pray and you just get a headshot. There you go. It's just like there's no skill involved. Whereas the previous entries, not only was Terrorist Hunt really hard, but it was more fun and it rewarded you more. And you come out with this co-op campaign and it only goes for a month? You gotta be kidding me. You put in all this effort. All the story, the writing, the design of the maps, the characters, and you're just like, yeah, just for a month, have a little fun. Have a little fun with our game. Come on, guys. A month? Give me a break. It's ridiculous. And in that month, you can't expect to get a lot out of it. Okay? There's not enough reward to do this. It was fun. I enjoyed it. But at the end, I only got 300 renown for finishing a mission. 300. That's not a lot. Especially after how long it takes to do each operation. And what you have to go through. You get like next to no renown, and unless somebody else has like a renown booster, then you get an extra 10%. So if like, say somebody comes into your party, they have a 100% booster. Their partners get 10% extra, so that's another 30. So I got 330 renown this second operation I played. Ooh. And I got next to no experience points at all. I played 2 operations over a time period of about an hour. Okay, that's how long it took to play 2 operations, and that's with being in the menus and stuff. So each operation probably lasts about 25 minutes to a half hour, depending on, whether you fail on multiple occasions or not. And you get next to nothing for it. what's the point of playing it then? You have this progression system in the game that you're supposed to satisfy, but they're basically forcing us to set, they're saying, yeah, well, since this is only for a month, and it's not an important part of the game, you get a little bit of renown and XP, but not as much as you would get playing PvP or, regular terrorist hunt, which, by the way, you don't get much playing the regular terrorist hunt either, and you don't get much playing PvP if you lose. So it's just like, there's not much incentive to play many of the game modes in this game, and I just don't understand why they can't make this more enticing. It annoys the crap out of me, and I don't agree with what they're doing with it. Not just Operation Outbreak, but with the game. Make it enticing to play your game. People will come back. Not everybody likes PvP, This is a very minor issue, but networking issues. I know it's day one, so I'm expecting some networking issues. But there were some times where we were facing, what they call it, a smasher, which is like the equivalent of a tank in Left 4 Dead. It's a big dude that he has a weak point on his back that you have to shoot, but you have to entice him to kind of run into a wall. And after a couple times, I figured out how to manipulate the smasher. You just have to find a spot that you can go around in circles in. You have to shoot him to get his attention, but then you have to kind of like entice him to charge you, and then you just move around whatever object you're going in circles around, and eventually he'll just smash into a wall, and you can shoot him in the back while he's down on one knee. So I figured that out, but the problem is that a couple of times facing off against the smasher, not in those situations when I was still trying to actually figure out how to beat them easier, there'd be times where he hit me, but I wasn't anywhere near him. So it was clear as day that I was not in his swing area, where he swings his arm around and knocks you down. I was clearly not anywhere near him, and he still hit me. So there's definitely some networking problems going on there where the registration of hits is not accurate. But again, this is day one, so I expect there to be some sort of faultiness to it as they go along in the 1 month that it exists to iron things out. It was, I believe, on the test server for a few days before it released, but for some reason I didn't bother. I had other videos I wanted to make, and I just never did it. But I got to experience it at least in its full release form. So hopefully they iron these little issues out. They may not, because it's only lasting so long. But yeah, just if you play it, just be aware of the fact that the hit detection on some of the monsters is a bit off. And the last thing that I don't really like is the fact that you cannot choose which operation to play. It's all random. Like I said before, the first operation I played was definitely favored over the second one that I played. For me, I enjoyed it a lot more. That being said, I don't know what the third operation is, because again, it's all random, and I didn't want to spend hours upon hours just seeing if I actually land it. Because I'd rather just choose which one I wanted to play. If I really enjoy something, I'm gonna play it over and over and over again. That's the point of video games, is to enjoy them. And if you don't enjoy them, there's something wrong. And I didn't enjoy the second operation as much as I enjoyed the first one, but how would I ever know if I was going to get it? It's just completely random. So having the choice to play which operation would be nice, especially if maybe there's an achievement tied to finishing all three. You could just run down the list and bing, bam, boom, you're done. And then you get to choose whichever one you want to play. And then you can play it on harder difficulties with different people, and that is the way that it should be done. But no, just like PUBG, it chooses randomly for you what map to play on, and I don't like that. What is it with these companies today that just slap a random generator for maps and operations into their games? Isn't the whole point of people getting pissed off at companies these days is that they're not giving us a choice of what we want to do? They talk about, it's about player choice. No, it ain't. Not about player choice. And it seems to be getting a lot less about player choice and a lot more about what they can like entice us with to come back to their game. Rainbow Six Siege is a very successful game. Early days were rough, but they turned it around, and it became one of the most successful games probably of last year and the year before. But the bottom line is that it became successful, and so now what they're doing is they're just trying to bring back people who don't like PvP and entice them with something that doesn't last very long. And once everybody's done with all 3 operations, like, what's the point of coming back? Especially when the rewards are so minuscule. You know, you guys want player choice. You want to say you're giving us player choice, but you're not. You're not giving us a choice. You're just basically saying, here's this new game mode, play it, see how you like it, and then never come back. So, I mean, maybe in the future, if you guys do more of these co-op campaign missions, give us more choice. You know, if you're going to put in 3 random operations or 3 operations into a co-op campaign, let us choose which one of those operations we want to play, rather than just randomizing it for us. Because, again, I didn't want to spend another, couple hours hoping that maybe I'd get the 3rd operation. You know, after the 2nd operation, I could have very well have gone back to the first one that I played. And it just could have been a vicious cycle of back and forth. Now, maybe they've got a better random generator than PUBG does, but it's still random, and I don't like it. Give us more choice. Knock it off. But those are my thoughts on the co-op campaign. I love it, but I think, also the fact that it's only going to be lasting a month is a big issue. Why is this not permanent? Why? Why can't you guys just have a portion of your team dedicated to, adding to this campaign? Why can't you do that? I think Ubisoft is big enough at this point where they can break off a small group of people to keep coming up with stuff to do with this campaign, or come up with new campaigns for co-op and stuff. Terrorist Hunt is not enough. We need more of these things, and we need them to be more permanent. A month is not long enough. I need more Rainbow Six in my life, and this game is not doing it for me. I played it for half a month. I did a little, I asked people what they wanted to see me play for a month, and they answered Rainbow Six Siege live on stream, and I played it. This is the early days of Rainbow Six, before they came out with any new operators. This is like bare bones Rainbow Six Siege when it first released-ish, and I played it for a half month, unlocked all the operators, did all the situations, and there was nothing left. There was nothing left to do. Now that you've got all this stuff going on, you've got more operators to grind out, if you don't want to pay for them. And you come out with this co-op campaign that is fun, but it only lasts a month, and it gives you next to no rewards for playing it. Come on, guys. You gotta bring us back. You gotta entice us. Give us more reasons to play your game, because PvP ain't it. It's not for me. I like Rainbow Six. I've loved Rainbow Six for its story. Well, okay, some people may not like the stories, but I do. I thought Vegas 1 and 2 was a great story campaign, and I think they need more of it. But I come back for the love of the campaign and the co-op, the Terrorist Hunt. I barely even played the Vegas series PvP back in the day. I did play it, and it was definitely a lot more fun than Siege. But I really mostly just enjoyed the co-op. I'm a very big advocate of co-op games, and this isn't enough. So get on the ball, Ubisoft. If you're going to do more of this stuff, give us more reason to come back to your game. Well, that's my take on it. If you guys have played it, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of it. I'd be really interested to hear what you guys have to say about this new Operation Outbreak. If you haven't tried it already, give it a shot. It came out today, so it's ready and available. I think it's worth a play. If you agree with me, you can hit that thumbs up button and tell me why you agree with me. If you disagree with me, thumbs down, and again, tell me why you disagree with my points. Get subscribed if you haven't already. Don't forget to check the links in the video description below, especially the one for the Extra Life campaign. I'm trying to raise $200 for my local children's hospital, and it's not a lot. It's $200, okay? But so don't worry if you can't give. I guarantee you we're going to hit that. We have all year to do it. We have a nice chunk of time to get $200 for these kids. I've only failed 1 year, and I said never again. And so far, pretty good. But if you can give, don't hesitate to donate. Until next time, guys, I'm Adam Wolf. This is Rainbow Six Siege Outbreak, and I will see you guys in the next one.